I don't suppose many people will watch this little video. They've probably already been put off by the title. But ironically, that actually strengthens my argument today. This channel explores the histories of village churches with music. But so far there has been one big omission. Graves. Around all of our churches there are headstones which are as permanent and sometimes as ancient as the buildings themselves. And we cannot forget that. Despite being made for the living, our village churches are surrounded by the dead. This is the place. This is one of the best village churches in Wiltshire. In fact, it's one of the best preserved in England. But in a sense, and rather symbolically, this could be anywhere, couldn't it? The familiar sight of a chancel at the east end, a porch and a west tower, and a sweeping stretch of graveyard, unmistakable. There are graves which are proud and upright, and others which are humble, crooked, leaning, stooped over, almost like a representation of the characters who lie buried beneath them. And of course there are some graves which haven't yet been dug. Certainly a feeling of relaxation in this church. But you know, there's no escaping the fact that it is surrounded by the dead. And does that make me feel depressed or concerned? Well, not in the slightest. They provided the seating, they provided the floor, they built the place. The chancel was built in 1200, the West Tower not much later. What does it all mean for the musician? Well, you're playing in a building surrounded by dead people, on an instrument built by dead people, playing music composed by dead people. But it doesn't concern me in the least. What the dead had no speech for when living, they can tell you being dead. The communication of the dead is tongued with fire beyond the language of the living. Here, the intersection of the timeless moment is England and nowhere. Never and always. There are two key skills involved in playing village church organs. The first is to play the notes, and the second is to ignore the imperfections. Most of us don't have access to huge cathedral organs where a single piece of bark could be played 10 times over and never sound the same. Instead, we have a box of whistles. A toy by comparison, but I love it all the same for that. Here, there is no rabble of tourists, no marching footsteps in the transept, no unexpected clatters, dropped mobile phones, or the distant murmur of laughter at the back of the cathedral. Instead, we have stillness for well over an hour. The only movement is the flicker of the candle in the chancel and the sunlight drifting lazily over the pews. Though it sounds silly of me to say so, you can see why I'd much rather be performing to the dead than ignored by the living. Please do remember to subscribe to my channel after watching this video. It's really easy, it doesn't cost a penny, but it makes sure that you stay up to date with all of my future films. And if you want to support me for free, it's the best way of doing that. You simply have to click on the subscribe button underneath this video. If you'd like to support me more than that, you would make me very happy indeed, because I cover lots of miles on this channel and I spend a lot of time thinking and a lot of time filming and practicing. If you want to help me out, please do use my PayPal link underneath this video. If you click on the link, then it takes you to my donations page, where you can leave a small donation if you're enjoying my work and my Sunday videos. Thank you so much indeed. This film was inspired by one particular grave at Great Durnford, a grave I'd been told about many years ago, but I'd never actually seen. It took me a while to find it, but on the eastern side of the churchyard, strangely one of the only graves which was sheltered from the morning sun. I found the name Arthur Mayton, who died in 1913. What does he have to do with me? Well, probably absolutely nothing. You needn't be related to share the same surname. And yet, nothing but simultaneously everything. He may be past, and I am present, as indeed you are, but we've both shared in the amazing gift of life. And I suppose that's what this video has been all about. Thank you for watching.